Alex Pretti. When I say that name, now people all across the country feel one way or another. What's her name? Molly Ringwald from Pretty in Pink thinks we'd all look pretty in orange. She now says that when this is over, when the Trump administration is over, they're going to go for prosecutions of people like you, like me, and she will be pushing for treason, and there will be executions. That's Molly Ringwald. Thank you, Molly. This is not something that is uncommon. One side is gearing up for purges. And I hope we come and find common sense. But we first have to find truth. And this Alex Pretti story is showing me that truth doesn't matter, and it's only going to get worse. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was doing an interview for Barrett's Media on AI. And I said, look, you have to understand, when Gutenberg made the printing press, that gave ownership of the truth to others. Before, it was only the kings and the churches that had truth, because books were too expensive. That's where truth lived. And so this gave ownership of truth to the average person. Then our relationship to the truth began to change when radio came in, because we could hear it. We heard it ourselves. And so we felt differently about the truth, and we knew what the truth was because we could hear it. Then television came along, and we could see it. And that changed our relationship. It deepened our understanding of the truth. Remember, those who were listening to John F. Kennedy and the Nixon debate thought Nixon won, but those who were watching thought John F. Kennedy won. Which one was true? Based on what your eyes were telling you, okay? So it changed our relationship. Then the internet came along, and internet was the beginning of the chipping away of trust. Those who were supposedly telling us truth, it started chipping away, and we started seeing, wait a minute, no, you're playing games with the truth. That's not the truth. Why aren't you covering this? And then you started having people with the internet that wanted to game the truth, and we started losing trust even more. AI, for the first time in human history, is going to make the truth irrelevant. Irrelevant. Because the system will still be able to somewhat function, the system will be able to function as it gives everybody, I don't know, 1 billion different truths. You don't have to tell one big lie anymore. Why not tell 500 million lies? And it can take the truth and custom make it for you so you're comfortable with that truth. But that's not the truth. That's your truth. Okay? That's the world we're heading toward. So we must begin to say, I demand the truth and nothing but the truth. I don't want it filtered. I don't want AI to change things. I just want to see it. I want to know what it is. And when you see it, you must deal with it. Whether you like it or not, you must deal with it. So let's look at the Pretti video. First, let me start here. This is what CNN has been saying about Pretti. This is before the latest footage was put out. Listen to this. Cut 2, please.
They chose to, they killed the wrong guy, right? Because this is like the perfect guy. Alex Pretti is the guy you would want to date your daughter. The guy you would want your son to grow up to be. A decent human being who was serving humanity, serving sick veterans, who is, there is nothing that has been said about that man that isn't wonderful. And so they can't malign him. They can't malign him because we have the videos.
Okay, we do have the videos. Now, will CNN publish these videos? Will they make as big of a deal about these videos, this video, as the last video? I doubt it. Here is the video, the new footage of Alex Pretti, 11 days before his death. Listen to this.
This is a moment the news filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage
spitting
by
enraged.
the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at East 30 Park Avenue in Minneapolis. Arrived around 10:50. We saw observers shout as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. Got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat, and the man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Pretti was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
Okay. So why is this video important? Because this is 11 days before, puts him in exactly the same situation. He's got a gun in the small of his back again, and he is spitting on the vehicle that the ice is in. And then he kicks the tail light out as they're driving away. Now, can I ask you, is that a man you want dating your daughter? Is that a man who is completely under control? That's the most important thing. Is he under control? Because I've never kicked the tail light out of a car. Now, I could see myself doing it if I were enraged, but not calmly walking up and making a decision thinking, this is a logical decision. I want to kick the taillight out of this car. That's rage. That is rage. And the media keeps telling us this is really simple. This is a peaceful legal observer, an innocent man, no threat, end of story. But that story is incomplete. Therefore, it is a lie. You must complete it to tell the truth. When the press leaves out facts that matter, they're not informing you, they are shaping you. Clarity here matters. Being angry does not justify you being killed. Let me say that. Kicking a taillight out does not justify lethal force. Filming police does not justify being shot in the back. Those truths don't change. I'm giving you the full truth. Those things don't warrant you being shot. But here's the other truth that he tries to carry. He's not a passive bystander. He is not a calm observer. This is not a man who is simply standing there with a phone saying, I'm just recording. An observer does not spit on the police or ICE and does not kick the taillight out of a federal vehicle. You don't do that. An observer does not scream obscenities into a driver's window. An observer does not chase a marked law enforcement SUV and shatter the lights as it pulls away. That's not observation. That's confrontation. And that matters because context matters. The Associated Press, CNN, they all have rushed to paint a saintly figure. ICU nurse, Vietnam veteran saved by him, peaceful legal observer. All of those things may be true, and all of those things can exist at the same time as this truth. Alex Pretti had uncontrolled rage towards ICE. This video, not coming from the right, released from the BBC, shows plainly you don't need commentary, you don't need spin. You can see it. Do your eyes still connect to your brain? You can hear it. Do your ears still connect to your brain? You can watch the moment where anger turns into action and action turns into escalation. And here's the part the media doesn't want to say out loud. They knew about this video. They knew it existed. They knew it contradicted the narrative. And yet, for days, you were told this was a peaceful man doing nothing but filming. That omission is not an accident. That is a lie of omission. A lie of omission. Let's address the line they keep repeating like a shield. Nothing that happened a week earlier could possibly justify his killing. Let me say something shocking. That's a true statement from the press. No one serious is arguing otherwise. Who's arguing that? He kicked the taillight out. He should have been shot. Nobody's arguing that. I'm not arguing that. That statement is, again, a lie. It's sleight of hand, a way to avoid a harder question. Why were the public and the jury pool fed a one-dimensional lie? Why were Americans denied the full picture of who this man was in that moment? Why does the media always do this? Turn complicated, volatile human beings into symbols, stripped away of agency, responsibility, and any warning sign. Why? Why? Because the story is about a flawed, angry, emotional, volatile man doesn't mobilize outrage. That's why. The story about St. Pretti, the perfect victim, does. Here is the dangerous consequence of this kind of reporting. When the press insists that every confrontation is peaceful, every 5-year-old kidnapped is a true story, every escalation is erased, rage is rebranded as virtue, you teach the next crowd that nothing they do counts. You teach them that taunting, spitting, vandalizing, burning a city down, provoking, that's invisible. Nobody will even notice. Nobody's going to say anything. Do it. And then when the situation explodes, you tell them the system murdered an angel. Who benefits? Do the people of the United States benefit from those things? Does the republic become more stable or less stable? Does that protect justice, or does it poison it? Two things can be true at once. The time for America to decide, are you an adult? Adults in a republic have to be capable of holding two truths at the same time. I don't like the way Donald Trump says some things, but he's done some things that are really good. That doesn't make you a Trumper. It doesn't make you somebody who is against Trump. That makes you an adult. So here are the two things. The shooting appears unjustified, in my opinion, has to be fully investigated. I give the police the benefit of the doubt because 8,000% increase of threats on their lives. It makes them jumpy. When somebody says gun, 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 two guys pull out their gun and they shoot, I can at least understand it. The media lied by omission. It's portraying this guy as a harmless observer. If we can't say that we need to look into what happened on the shooting, and we need to have a fair trial, not a lynching, a fair trial, and that the press has lied to the jury pool. They have lied. If you can't say both of those things, you don't have the ability to reason anymore. And when reason dies, the only thing that is left is rage. And that's what they are counting on. Rage is not justice. Rage is how societies unravel. And it usually happens one dishonest headline at a time. Thank you for thinking for yourself and being part of a movement, because that's really what all of this is. If you want the full story, you want to go deeper, go to blazetv.com/Glenn. Go there right now, sign up, no interruptions, just the truth, uncensored and unfiltered. Don't just watch, take a stand. And I'll see you over there in a minute.